Hey my populace, welcome to a new video, and we're doing a different type of video today. Normally we always talk about languages and moving abroad and all those things, but today I thought like I was gonna introduce some type of new video. I'm not gonna do that all the time, but sometimes yes, we're gonna talk about that because it's part of life and it's also part of my life. And I'm not just talking about languages, obviously, even if we're gonna be mainly talking about that in this channel. But we're trying something new. Hopefully you will enjoy that, and I do not want this video to be too long, so we're gonna stop now. Today we're talking about money. We are in our 30 years, and if you're not in your 30, this is also going to help you. But if you're in your 30 like me, just like know that time is passing and we need to go through, apply some new things. Okay? And in the economy of today, when we see that there is so many bad things happening today, and more people are losing their jobs, more and more people are having money issues, so many debts, it's important to think about that and to know what to do. The best tips that I can share with you, the best that I'm going to follow also myself about money and about building what we call a good and stability in terms of money and in terms of financial lifestyle. So the first thing that is important to do is to stop using debt. Okay, women and men in general, human being, we tend to always go to the debts things. We always think like, okay, we cannot afford something, we're gonna subscribe like a 3-4 months free payment. 3-4 months free payment is a debt. That means you don't have the money. When you're paying something 3-4 months in advance, when you're taking something 3-4 months in advance and still paying them 3 months after, you don't have money for that. So do not take it. Just pay what you have money for. This sounds tough, but trust me, it's going to help you a lot. I used to be such an addict on those free installment payments, like monthly installment payments, like you were paying in 5 months, in 6 months, in 10 months for free. I used to do that a lot. Now I understood, like, I don't have the money to pay it now. I don't have money to owe that things because I am broke. So that means this thing is not in my budget. I'm living over my budget if I am purchasing these items now. So I need to actually say no thank you and move on. So do not contract any debt, especially to buy items that are not affordable for you, because it's not in your budget. And it's okay. It's okay to say it's not my budget, maybe next time. Second tip that I'm going to be sharing with you is budgeting. Okay, budgeting is so important. Budgeting is going to help you to know what you can do and what you cannot do. Organize yourself so you don't get broke after. Budgeting is something that is very important. For example, I did my budget before moving. I decided, okay, I'm going to leave at some point. I need to know how the income is going to still come in my account, because I need to make sure like I'm still having income. I'm 32 years old. I cannot depend on anyone. I need to be my own person. And yes, thanks God, in France we do have this service, this chance of having like what we call like half of the state. Yes, we do have that in France. That's helping you a lot because you do work for that. Okay, it's not something that is given to you. You need to work for that to be able, because when you're working, you actually making sure that you can have that in terms of need, and which is the case now. I need to focus on my study and I cannot work anymore because I need to focus on my study, and I have the help of the state. It's going to help me to sustain and be in needs, not be in needs, and be able to pay my bills and pay my stuff, pay my food, survive while I'm actually studying. And this is very important. And of course, it's not going to be that big, so you need to know that you need to lower your expenses, because to fit in my new budget, because my new budget is not a salary, because when I'm working I have a high salary, so I can actually make more money and also save more money. Now I am on lower budget, I am in a very low income, so I need also to limit my budget and to limit my expenses, obviously. But by not being able to budget and program myself and plan myself my expenses, I'm never going to be able to survive with a low income. So it's very important to know how to plan financially and how to budget your money and your life. Third tip that I'm going to share with you is to get an emergency fund. Okay, the emergency fund, it's so important, and this is something like I used to have, and right now I'm going back to rebuild that, because I have did a lot of expenses since July that was not planned. That happened because I had 1-2 months when I was not working. Well, I was home being sick, but I couldn't have the help of the state during that, and I couldn't have the payment for the office, and then I basically have a very low income, but I was having still a lot of expenses. And of course I had to touch in my budget and my fund. I had to touch in my fund, which was like lowering it, and I was not putting it back because I wanted to travel and stuff like that. The plan of traveling was already made. I couldn't cancel it last minute, unfortunately. That was already payments that has been done for that, because as soon as you can pay in advance, as better it is your organization, better is your budgeting. So I just have to go through that, and then now my fund is a little bit low, and I need to rebuild that, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the next month. And also I was traveling a lot, way back. My dog was sick. I did a lot of travels in the last month when I was not having normally planned for that, and then of course I had to use the fund. So that's why it's very important to have an emergency fund, because in my case, during September and October, I traveled a lot between Paris and Milan. That was not planned. I paid hotel, that was not planned, because we didn't have the apartment then. So it was just like me traveling way back, and me spending a lot of money, and me understanding that I need to refund my fund. So that means I need to make sure like the money is going back, because otherwise the next time I have an emergency, I will be broke as shit and I have nothing. Tip number 4, I would say investing for your future. You can invest in terms of like land. You can buy a land, you can rent, you can become an owner, you can invest also money in terms of like having ports or sharing shares in companies, stuff like that. Great. But just think about your future. Whatever you're doing in terms of like putting money on the side for tomorrow is also an investment. So think about tomorrow, because trust me, you don't have tomorrow given to you. You need to work for it. That is insane. We're working for our present, but we're also working for our tomorrow, because tomorrow is not given. Okay, the future is not something that is given to you. You need to work for that, and that means you need to plan it. That means you need to think about that. That means you need to invest. You need to invest in that future. Okay, investment future is important. So do it as soon as possible. I would say do it in terms of like savings to retire, to help you through a sickness or something like that. Savings is already a lot. Then after, try to make that savings work. Try to fluctuate that savings by doing some interesting investment, of course. Number 5, we're getting on our 30s. Some of us already have children. Some of us are thinking about having children, which is my case. We need to start planning for them. Okay, they cost money. Okay, having a baby is a lot of money. I saw my friend now; she's pregnant, and she was talking about the fact that, you know, when you offer someone a birthday gift or a baby shower gift, it's just 1 item, 2 items, and then you say, oh, it's 30 euros, it's 40 euros, it's 50 euros, and you don't really pay attention to that. But when you're actually paying for your own child clothes and furnitures, it's become a lot. It just, you know, keep getting more and more, and just like combining each other into this huge and an insane amount of money. And then she was like, okay, I need to plan that. So yeah, planning for children in advance, planning for college if you're in some countries where you have to pay school, planning for kindergarten, planning for nurses, nannies, if you're gonna have those, planning in advance. Just the idea of having a child should also go with savings for that child. Just saying, you do not make children with nothing, and this is not how I think. They're not made just about love, they're also made with money. Just saying, okay? And think about that until they're 25, because, you know, they're going to go to college and they're probably going to be broke, and they're probably not going to be able to work. My case, I have been working since ever, and it delayed me so much in terms of study, and I wish I can give to my children a different lifestyle where they will be able to study, not have to work, not have to pay for their own bills, still be in a home and study, just focus on being a child, and focus on being a student without focusing to becoming an adult also. That's something I want to give my children, because I went through that, and that was not great. That was not the best time of my life, and I don't want them to struggle with that if I can make it happen. So of course, like, I'm thinking about that more and more, especially because I went through it. Another one, it's about to pay off your home, your housing. If you're renting, which is my case right now, of course you're not paying for your own home, but you can think about saving in just in case of doing that, or maybe savings to plan to buy a house, saving to have like a down payment made for buying. In Europe also we have the same concept. Of course, in some countries, for example the US, you guys have so much insane rate of and insane loans. I'm like, no, we're not doing that in Europe. Thanks God, there's still more control, and not everybody can take the loan just like that. You can be refused a loan, which is not happening that much in the States apparently, because people are like having insane loans. Sometimes I'm like, what the hell? Like $1 million in loans? That's, for me, it's insane. In France, it's never gonna happen. So thanks God we have more control and more security on how to access the loan, because we do have also this situation where people like are clearly over or crowded in debt, and then they cannot survive anymore, and then like bankruptcy. We do have that also, but it's such a small portion those that is still control. I mean, to get there, you really need to go through a lot of things to arrive to that point, because you know there's a lot of safeties that you actually did not catch. I would say. Last advice that I would give to you, of course, is to say no to a lifestyle that you don't own. What does that mean? It's like if you feel like the lifestyle you want is too expensive for you, it's not in your budget, you are living above your needs, above your salary, above your incomes, then quit it. Say no. Say no to this lifestyle. Say goodbye, thank you very much, see you next time, see you when I will be. Okay, I know this famous sentence is like fake it until you make it. Doesn't work here. Because if you're faking it, this lifestyle you don't have and you cannot afford, if you're faking it, you will pay for it tomorrow. You will never make it. You will never make it. You cannot fake a lifestyle, okay? You can fake some other things. In terms of money, do not fake it, because by faking it, that's when you're contracting loans. You're being in debt, and you don't want that, because tomorrow you will have to pay back those debts, and you will never make it. You will always fake it, and you will be broke. So this saying, fake it until you make it, please do not do that in this field, in these scenarios here. We do not fake it. We live, we accept, we admit our lifestyle. If we have a broken lifestyle, we have a broken lifestyle until it gets better. But we do not pretend to have something we do not have, put ourselves in issues that we will not be able to deal with after, because tomorrow is going to come for you. And trust me, tomorrow, when you will not be able to pay your fees, when you will not be able to pay your loan, and you will be like literally completely under, you wish you will go back to the lifestyle where you were just eating pasta, because at least you were able to afford yourself pasta, because at some point you will arrive, you will not be able to afford yourself just white pasta. And think about the fact that back in the time you thought white pasta sucks, there's a point where you will not even be able to afford that. So think about that, make very smart decisions, question all the time the decision you're making, make sure you're not faking it, make sure you're not pretending to have the lifestyle you don't have, make sure you're not spending money that you do not have. Okay, a credit card, in where the people are using in Europe, a credit card is still based in your account. So when there's nothing anymore, you can like go a little bit over, but not that much. Okay, at some point it's gonna say bye girl, next. It's gonna block you. But still, do not use those credit cards as something that is unlimited and is just money coming. Like Apple Pay is your account, okay? It's your money. It's the same thing that if you have cash in your hands, it's the same thing with Apple Pay. So when you're using your phone to tap with Apple Pay, think about the fact that you're using your own money. And it goes fast, but it's also the way that your money is going out very fast from your account. So yeah, think about that. Make sure like you're making very smart decisions, because getting in your 30s, you do not have that much time to correct. In your 20s, you can still make some correction. You can still make some improvement, come back to zero, restart something. When you're getting in certain ages, in your 30s, in your 40s, it became very complicated, especially when you would get pregnant and when you get a child, and then you just like starting a family life with already debts and loans. This is not going to get better. It's going to get just worse, or it's going to be basically surviving, and you do not want to survive with a child coming. You don't want to survive with like wedding planning and stuff like that. Just to make sure like, also the things like, do not make plans if you do not have money. Okay? If you want to get married and you don't have money to get married, do a simple thing, do not get married, okay? It's better to not get married and still be okay financially with that, to actually get married, broke, and ending up divorcing the person and still paying for the loan you took to marry that person that you divorced right now with. So, you know, just think about that. And it's not because you're going to be scared of something that this is not going to happen. It's not because you're scared of aging that you will not age unless you kill yourself before. But unless that, you will still age. So think about the fact that it's still going to happen whether you like it or not. It's still going to happen. And when you're going to be old, you will need to make sure like you think about those plans, those financial plans before arriving that time, because then it's going to be too late, and then you're going to be like having a very bad retirement, if you're allowed to have a retirement, because it's not something that we're sure about that anymore. I feel like we're going more and more in generation where we may not have a retirement plan. So, you know, just think about that and make your life decisions based on that. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching that video. I enjoy doing this type of video. I hope you will give it a good welcome, and of course you will subscribe if it's not the case. The link is always in the description box, so please go check it and subscribe if it's not the case yet. And of course, leave me a thumbs up. It always helps me to be more visible on that channel, for that channel to be more visible on the platform. So give me a thumbs up for that, and of course leave me a comment if you share the same opinions than me, and if you're in your 30s, if you already start doing those things. Even if you're in your 20s, are you still already doing those things? Because it's also better to start that very young, because the sooner you start something, the better it gets at the end. So that's it for me. See you on the next one. You guys take care. Bye, my populace.